Steve, why did you call him Sir Paul at the start?
I didn't.
You did, you said Sir Paul.
I didn't. So Paul.
Oh, So Paul, right, OK.
The Fort Hommett Coastal Defence Bunker is a fully restored gun casement which was part of Fortress Guernsey, built by the German forces during their time here.
So this is a 10.5cm coastal defence gun, French origin.
French?
French. Captured in large numbers when Germany invaded France.
I find it really strange here that they couldn't really see much at all, really, could they, apart from looking through there?
Yeah, that's right. It's got an optical sight. You can look through at close targets, but he's basically acting on orders. You know, you can see the phone behind you. Phone would ring. There's another connection here that was for the gunner. Would have a set headphones on. Yeah. Someone would be telling him, right, you're firing at this particular point, and just keep firing there.
Can you imagine the noise in here when this goes off?
Yeah.
Also, we've been on a battleship before where, you know, you have 4 guys loading the gun, so how many guys would be in here setting this up to fire?
3 or 4 guys, you know, one feeding the shells in, somebody actually firing. So it would have been busy.
And what's this up here? Is this actually authentic, or is this like the one that was in here?
This is a copy of a range board that would have shown the gunner specific ranges so that he wouldn't have to start finding the information. It's there to hand.
But they were never actually used?
Not really, no.
See, this is what gets me about Alderney, is that they built all these defences and they were never used. Now, seemingly, that makes it a complete waste. But that means, actually, it was utterly effective. Because everyone knew, there was the perception that these places were so heavily armed, everyone just stayed away, which is the best form of defence you could possibly have, really.
Yeah, and to be fair, I mean, Churchill knew that if they launched an attack on the island, they'd absolutely obliterate the population.
Yeah.
Right, time for me and Steve to split up and find out what life was like for the people that remained on the island during the occupation.
Steve and I have learned a lot about life in the Channel Islands when they're occupied by the Germans between 1940 and 1945. But you know what? You can't beat a first-hand account of what life was actually like. And that's exactly what I'm now going to get from Molly B.A., who is here for the duration as a young girl when they invaded, and also at the end when they were liberated. Hello, Molly. I'm John.
Hello. All right.
Lovely to meet you. Please don't get up. There we go. Molly, I know you've always lived on Guernsey. You were actually here during the war.
Yes.
I wouldn't be so rude as ask how old you were at the start.
Oh, I'm 80, so I was 14 when the war ended.
You're 14 when the war ended, so when they arrived in 1940, so you're 10,
Nine.
so you're about 9 or 10 when they arrived.
Yes.
Can you remember what the atmosphere was like, even at that age, of how you felt when you knew the Germans were on the way?
Very frightened.
Yeah.
Yes, very, especially with the air raid on the 28th of June. We were living very near the harbour.
Oh dear.
Of course, they started bombing. We could hear and saw what was happening when we came up. So that was the frightening part, because it was the not knowing what was going to happen from day to day, and it was a week later. Oh, yeah.
So they've done the bombing raid, then they arrived, the Germans arrived.
Yes.
So how did life start to change?
Well, I suppose after a day or two, one had to accept that they were on, and work had to carry on.
Yeah.
Street names were changed, and of course you had to learn German.
You had to learn German?
Definitely, it was very important.
Okay.
And our German teacher wasn't very pleasant, but she had this job to do, and it was very important.
So as the war progressed then, at the start we've got a happy German, he's winning, he's teaching you German. After D-Day, you know, you must have really seen, you know, the supplies really fall off.
That's right, yes. And in March 1945, 3 weeks with no bread. But of course, the Germans were hungry as well, because they couldn't get food from France either.
What sort of other things did you eat and drink then? What were some of the other?
Well, Mum used to have carrot tea, I remember that. Carrigan moss. Carrigan. From the beaches, we used to buy that in the market when there was some. They used to dry it.
I was talking to someone earlier, and they were saying that they literally ate limpet. They were eating limpets and things off the beach. They were literally eating everything. Apparently, there wasn't even any cats to be found on the island anymore. Is that true?
No, that's right. Yeah, all the cats went. Yeah.
So they were eating cats?
Yes, well, it must have been the Germans, I think, really.
Did you ever know anyone that ate cat?
And we didn't have one.
Molly?
No.
Are you sure?
Oh, no.
We
never had a cat.
We had odd-looking chicken. You know what? Absolutely lovely to talk to you, Molly. Thank you. No, please don't get up. Thank you so much.
Oh,
Just brilliant, absolute treat. Thank you very much. I'm going to go and find Steve, who you're really lucky not to have spoken to.
Oh.
Believe me, you wouldn't have liked Steve at all. You really wouldn't have done. He's different. Bye, Mol.
Coming up, Steve forages for some of the island's wartime delicacies.
It's lovely. It really is.
And we try an evacuation of our own.
Oh, bloody hell! It's actually quite depressing, Steve.
Away from the Thames foreshore, we've been on a hunt for hidden history on the island of Alderney.
Hi, hi! It's German.
We're looking for remnants of the Reich.
Now we've moved to Guernsey, where food during the war became scarce and desperate measures were called for.
Apparently there wasn't even any cats to be found on the island anymore.
No.
Is that true?
No, that's right. Yeah, all the cats went.
With not even a cat to chew on, times were hard for both locals and Germans on Guernsey in 1944. Cut off from European food and fuel supplies, they were forced to forage on the beaches for anything edible, such as seaweed, which is particularly nutritious, and that's exactly what I'm going to do, with the help of experts Tara and Darcy.
So, guys, I'm a bit green at this, so how do I know what I'm looking for?
OK, a lot of different types and varieties of seaweed in this area, but there's one just here, which is, this is Laminera saccharina, or sugar kelp, if you like.
The single most important element of seaweed is iodine, which is necessary for proper thyroid functioning.
Salty. Very salty. So, anything else here that I can eat?
Anything else? Shall we?
Everything.
Well,
Although most seaweeds are perfectly edible, they can contain acids that can irritate the stomach, and some can even act as a laxative.
OK, try a bit of this one.
good stuff, Steve. I probably would have washed it and probably prepared it first, but, you know, let us know how it tastes, because...
Oh, cheers, Darcy.
I'm not eating that
You're
one
the
raw
expert.
either.
I've just stuffed it in my mouth, and now you're saying I have to clean it first. It's lovely. It really is. Do you know what? We take this with us, and Vaughan is going to love it.
Yeah, brilliant.
Especially with his upset stump that he has at the moment. Limpets. Limpets next?
Limpets next.
Limpets.
Limpet is the common name for a variety of gastropods, a rich source of protein. It would have been just what the people of Guernsey needed during the war.
Guts and stuff off. There you go, Steve.
So this is what's left after you take off the guts and you've washed it.
In it goes, give it a chew.
It's like an inner part of an ear. Oh, that's really chewy. So also I noticed around here you've got winkles as well. Now I know winkles because you used to have these on a Sunday when I used to go around to my grandparents. So shall we collect some of those of Vaughan as well?
Yeah.
A periwinkle, or winkle, is a species of small edible sea snail and would have also been a valuable food resource for the islanders.
Come on, guys, let's go.
So after preparing some of our food finds, including potato peel pie and our different types of seaweed, it's time for the taste test. Let's see if Johnny has the stomach for it.
Right, we're going to try some of this stuff. So what are we going to try first?
You're all kidding me, right? This is like a stitch-up.
No, I ate this raw. So let's go.
Has he eaten all this stuff raw?
He has, yeah.
Now, has he?
He has, honestly.
No, this is a
Really?
wind-up, Steve. Well, this
missed
is where
out.
I can't go.
Missed out.
We've all tried it, now why don't you?
What was this one called again?
This is intestinalis.
Try that, that's nice.
Intestinalis.
Intestinalis, like your intestines.
It's also called floating gutweed. So good luck with that, Johnny.
Now, normally we'd cook that.
Well, don't say that after I've had a mouthful.
Right, limpets.
No, I won't be eating that.
Why not?
Because, as I say, I've got really bad stomach, Steve. You know I'm not going to eat that.
Oh, just try it.
No. It's got... No, absolutely not.
I'm having trouble getting my winkle out.
Are you?
Yeah, they come out easier when they're cooked, don't they? This one just doesn't want to come out.
You're not going to get them out, I don't think.
Oh, look.
I was going to cook them with garlic and
Oh,
garlic.
no, look.
He's alive. That's alive.
Do you want to chomp on my winkle?
I do like winkles.
He'll have them raw.
I wouldn't have eaten that.
It's gritty as well because it's got loads of sand in your
No, I left the crunchy bit on top.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, the little eye, I left it on there.
Thanks for that, Steve. I'm sure that'll really settle my stomach.
Darcy, thank you very much indeed. Absolutely delicious.
Cheers, Darcy. Brilliant.
Tara, really lovely to meet you. Thank you
Yeah,
so
you
much.
too.
Bye, Hugo.
Bye, you go.
Let's go, Steve.
Cheers, guys.
See you later.
Cheers.
Bye.
Cheers. Thanks very much. Bye.
Steve and I have had a real taste of what island life was like during the occupation. But as we reach the end of our journey here, it's time to find our sea legs once more.
Towards the end of the war, life obviously got very, very tough on Guernsey. The Germans got tougher with the population and food got worse. So more and more people decided to brave the 78-mile journey over the water back to England. And many of them did it, Steve, in...
A rowing boat.
Rowing boats.
But think, yeah, you think to yourself, yeah, you're starving to death. You don't want to stay here.
No.
You want food. You need to just get away from here. So, a rowing.
Which feels to me a little bit like...
A MudMen challenge.
A MudMen challenge.
You any good at rowing?
I wasn't bad. I mean, I used to race quite a lot against my sister on
I can tell by your figure. You look at me, yeah, Steve Redgrave, one of our greatest rowers.
Shall I tell you something? You have got a rower's physique.
Look at you, Vanessa Redgrave.
After a quick warm-up, last one back to England gets the beers.
My boat's already budging out there.
The evacuees face dangers at every turn on their journey to England, including mines and enemy aircraft. Fortunately today, the only danger I face is trying to avoid Steve's boat, which is easier said than done.
Oh, look, Steve.
Johnny, get out!
I'm getting purchased.
I'm ready to go.
Are we near England?
Baldy!
Steve, I can't steer it.
Nor can I.
Oh, bloody hell. It's actually quite depressing, Steve.
Only another 77.5 miles to go to England.
This is a nightmare.